Welcome back to the John Trading channel. Bitcoin in this current area is doing a lot of down, up and down momentum, which actually shows we're currently in a trading range, and Ethereum on the weekly chart has actually came into the valley area between the medium and short-term exponential moving average, and it looks like we're actually using it as a support zone in this area to make higher pushes to the upside. Plus, I have a lot of crypto news to go through with you today, so make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video. If you haven't already, leave a like on the video, make sure you're subscribed and you hit the bell icon, plus leave a comment if you're enjoying these daily crypto videos. As you may have seen in the crypto news, Coinbase and Binance have been sued by the SEC. So, 6 months ago, Binance US ran out of USDT and withdrawals were halted. After a few hours, the wallets were topped up by Binance funds. Today, the SEC confirmed that CZ, the owner of Binance, owned Sigma Chain and was behind the cash infusion. And that's why the SEC is actually suing Binance for commingling of funds. You can see that CZ owned this Sigma chain and was behind this cash infusion, so it's showing where is all this money come from? Was that originally Binance depositors' money that's now in this Sigma chain account? And what's actually happening? And it might mean that Binance is commingling funds, and personally I would get all of your funds out of Binance as soon as possible because it's just not worth the risk. And this was just in, Binance US announces plan to delist over 100 trading pairs, mainly to do with Tether, and has paused OTC trading. This could be a potential attack on Tether, what's coming from the SEC, and on Binance US to delist a lot of these cryptocurrencies. Also, new data shows that cryptocurrency owners in the UK have surged over 50% ahead of implementation of new regulations. It's showing here in recent months, the UK proposed a sweeping new regulatory regime for crypto where rules governing the industry will be brought more closely in line with the traditional financial services. And it's showing that the UK is actually willing to give cryptocurrency a go and trade it like a normal financial service. Here's a little chart on value investing and what actually screws up a lot of people in trading. When they see we've gone up a massive percent, they get in, they greed, they buy near the tops, and then look what happens. We then get that 85% drop, like this happened in Bitcoin. People get scared, they're fearful, they sell. Then you repeat it again. We get this massive bull market to the upside. People get in right at the last minute. Greed, they've seen other people make a lot of money. They're seeing other people's accounts go up. They're going, oh, man, hopefully that can be me too. They buy at the top and then repeat until the whole entire cycle repeats again, all the way till the downside. You would understand in trading, the goal and what I'm always teaching is to buy low in the market and sell high. You really want to be buying when everybody's fearful and they're not interested in buying, like was the case 6 months ago, especially after we had that FTX crash. And this is a super interesting quote. When trading, it's not about how many times you're right or wrong, and this is truly 100% true. It's about how much money you make when you're right and how much money you lose when you're wrong. And that basically comes back to having that risk to reward strategy with some type of positive expectancy system. If you're able to make 2 to 1 in your trades, where you make $2 for losing every $1, which shows how much money you make when you're right versus how much you're wrong. It's not about how many times. You can basically have a 40-60 system where you're losing 60% of the time, but you have that 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio on every trade, meaning you have a positive trader's equation and you'll come out over the long series of trades in a positive expectancy way. Now coming over to the price of Ethereum, I'm actually looking at Ethereum on the weekly time frame because I have something very interesting to show you. So through this area here was actually when we had that FTX crash, and we've had a really strong push to the upside. And what I'm always teaching and always talking about in my videos, as you would understand, you want to be trading in the direction of the exponential moving average. And look here, we got that crossover of the exponential moving average where we finally got the short-term moving average on top and we've got the medium-term moving average on the bottom. And look what's happening. We've got a positive trending exponential moving average. And what's happened right here in this zone? We've actually come down. We had a fairly decent violent drop to the downside in this area, but where are we right now? We're in the valley zone. We're in the valley zone, valley zone, valley zone. And that's why I was looking at actually buying in this last week, because all we've done is come into the valley zone. We've got a positive trending exponential moving average. We're making higher highs and higher lows. We made a high, a low, high, high, expecting this to be the high low, and then pushing again to the upside, actually breaking this high at 2160. So looking extremely bullish on crypto, especially when you look at it on the 5-minute time frame, it does look slightly bearish because you're seeing really strong pushes to the downside. But when you actually scroll out, look at the weekly, and if the weekly time frame has a positive trending exponential moving average, then truly you need to follow that before you're actually looking to short and sell in the incorrect areas. The goal is always to buy low and sell high in the market. Bitcoin right now is in this up-down trading range pattern. When we have a big down followed by a big up, we're actually in a confused trading range because there's been a massive amount of sellers, then we've had a massive amount of buyers, and we're basically exhausted at that point. What I do expect, and we'll come over to the 4-hourly time frame, is that we actually bounce between these prices. Like you can see, look, we had a really strong push to the downside, followed by a really strong push to the upside. Now what I'm expecting is price to come back in this area, we'll pump to the upside, come back in this area, pump to the downside, come back in this area, pump to the upside, and hopefully make that next move to the upside, breaking actually into that $32,000 per area. But we're right now in that trading range. When we have massive down and massive up, basically there's a lot of confused traders because you're not really sure if this is massively long or massively short yet because you've had a lot of traders come in. So it's going to be that trading range price action. If we also just quickly flick back to Ethereum and do this trendline trading pattern, as I was talking about the other day, you would see we are in that positive side of the pattern. We've broken above, we've consolidated back in this area. We never broke these lows, and now looks like we're going to continue to the upside. If we come over and look at the same pattern on Solana, we're basically right in the same area. We're retesting the bottom of this trendline trading pattern. And the main thing that we really need to look for is if we get this close in the second day. So we did have a little close right on the line. If we do have this second close happening and we actually close near its low below the line, that would be the confirmation to actually get out of this trade. But we can do similar to what Ethereum's done, and the day actually comes up and finishes up here on a bullish trending bar, then overall the pattern would not have broken and we still would be in our trade. Now looking at XRP, you can see we're especially very strongly holding above this trend line trading pattern. As I was talking about the other day, we also came into this valley area as we've had a really positive sloping exponential moving average. We've come down in between the value area between the short and medium term, now looking like potentially that move to the upside again. Binance is even looking extremely bearish in this area since they're getting sued by the SEC. You see actually connecting this trendline trading pattern, it was used really strongly to the downside. Once you get a break below this area here, it would see like this is acting as a resistance level, whereas on Ethereum and the rest, we've actually broken up and then we're now coming down, retesting this area before then expecting the upside move. But what we've done here is consistently use it as a decline momentum. And now once you get a break of this area, that would have been the momentum play to actually get down into the short side once we've rejected off this area. The only way the trade becomes invalid is if we break above this trend line pattern in this area here, and especially after this massive drop to the downside in this area here, it doesn't look like it's going to be extremely common. So definitely bearish at this current moment for BNB, especially if we've got this commingling of funds for Binance. That's definitely not going to be good. Potentially your money could be in jeopardy, so I would be careful.